Peaceful Paths is an invaluable organization to our community. It really helps some of our most vulnerable and at-risk neighbors during times of crisis, and it really provides a safe place for people in their time of need.
Peaceful Paths is the state-certified domestic violence center that serves the Tri-County region here in North Central Florida. We've been providing safety support and a path to self-sufficiency to adult and child survivors since 1974. The agency has had a miraculous amount of growth in the last decade or so, and we've been very blessed after our fire in 2009, which we lovingly refer to as the best worst thing that ever happened to us, to really take a journey to see how our services could be expanded to meet all of the gaps and all of the needs that had really been identified to us from survivors and our stakeholders in the community over the years. And so what you see as Peaceful Paths today in 2022 is a very different organization than when I took over in 2000, and we're very proud and grateful for the community support that has really allowed us to become who we are today.
The first time I saw Peaceful Paths, I think I was a loaned executive with the United Way, and all the guys, we were blindfolded, and they took us somewhere in the woods. And we saw this facility, and it was just like, okay, we had to get blindfolded to leave. Fast forward to 2011, and this gift really was a gift that transformed Peaceful Paths what it is today. So if you have the opportunity to go on a tour today, it is an incredible facility. And to look at the vision, and you look at all the property, and you look at all of the housing, and you look at all the resources in the rooms and the impact they have in the community today, it's just like, wow, I can't believe it's the same place, but I get very excited.
We were contacted in the late summer of 2011 by Dr. Dutton and Dr. Schilling, and they asked me to join them for lunch because they had an idea they wanted to propose to the Community Foundation. At the lunch, found out that property out 53rd Avenue become bank-owned, and Peaceful Paths wanted to make a move in order to purchase the property and expand and create this campus. So I went to lunch with Paul and Jay, and they wanted to create a fund at the Community Foundation. They had an appreciated asset. They had some securities that they wanted to transfer to the Community Foundation. Meanwhile, Peaceful Paths would make an offer to the bank to purchase the property, and we would fund it. This fund actually was able to also fund a lot of their programs and operations for many years afterwards as well. So while at the lunch, I asked Jay and Paul, why the Community Foundation? Why don't you just give this directly to Peaceful Paths? Probably not a good question to ask on the job, but I was just curious. And they said to me, and it has stuck with me ever since, that they didn't want to necessarily give that straight to the organization because they had many causes that they cared about. And if for some reason this deal fell through, they wanted to be able to support other causes that they loved as well. But fortunately, it was a win-win for Peaceful Paths, for Dr. Dutton and Dr. Schilling, and now we have an incredible organization in Peaceful Paths.
Peaceful Paths mean to me a lot because I was a victim indirectly of domestic violence. My ex-wife was killed by her new husband, and I had a 14-year-old and a 17-year-old at that time. I understand domestic violence, and what I try to do is to get the word out in the community that domestic violence is not necessary. So Peaceful Paths has been a great resource for me just to help my kids, but also for helping other people in the community.
If we want to imagine what our community would be like without Peaceful Paths, the number of lives they've changed, the number of people that they've been able to elevate and celebrate into their next transition in life, the knowledge that our community has that there is some place they can go, someone that can help in their time of crisis, is something that will continue to grow and impact so many people.
I've always believed that the true worth of a community is how they regard their most vulnerable citizens. And certainly individuals that experience intimate partner violence are exceptionally vulnerable, especially when they make that very difficult decision to leave their abusing partner. It was unusual in the sense that I had been acquainted with Peaceful Paths for about 3 years, and then I had a few people in my network that needed some counseling and needed some assistance. So knowing that I was not qualified to help them through that journey, I pulled out the card, and then they contacted Dr. Teresa Beachy, and they did very well through that experience.
Our agency functions because we have a phenomenal team and a great board of directors who are out there every day using the single most important thing you can give us, and that's your voice. When you talk about this issue, when you bring light to the fact that Gainesville's a wonderful place to live, Alachua County's quality of life is amazing, but there are still people in our community every day who are living under threat in their own home. And so when we shed light on that and shed light on the fact that it's the most dangerous call our law enforcement respond to, that it creates poverty in a way that women feel they have no other choice to stay, that it's really $2,500 many times that stands between a woman being able to feel she has a choice and being dependent and locked in a relationship that's hurting her and hurting her children. When we collectively, that group, those advocates, those board members, the allies in action, all of us together continue to talk about this issue, that's really where we have the potential to create change. And I'm proud to have been a small part of this organization's history and been a leader during the time that we've had this transformation, because I do feel that it's one of the most important things our community has to offer survivors and their children.
Peaceful Path, this is my opportunity to congratulate you. This is a job well done. You deserve this. I couldn't think of anybody else. And I just want to thank you for all of the incredible transformational work you're doing in our community and will continue.
Congratulations, Teresa, on the anniversary of our gift.
There are many people in the community that have a vision for similar needs in the community. And I think we would like to encourage others to step forward, work through the Community Foundation, make a plan, and make a significant transformational, multiple generational change in the community.